Yo, 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 yo. What's up, everybody? So y'all already see what's going on. Y'all already see what the episode about to be about. So we're gonna be getting to the business. In 1 minute. It's gonna be some pretty deep information, but I must say so myself. It ain't gonna be too deep though, but it's gonna make sense. You know what I'm saying? But what's up with everybody though, man? I hope everybody good out there. Hope everybody living great as always. You know what I'm saying? Y'all already know how I do it. I try to be as high as I can be. You know what I mean? On every level, on every aspect of the word. But like y'all see what the title say already, it's gonna be about the Boule Wars. What I mean by Boule Wars, huh? It's gonna like the title say, Black loyalists versus the Black Patriots. So for the people who don't know about the Black loyalists and the Black Patriots, I think it's gonna be very insightful, and we're gonna see. It might not take no more than about like 45 minutes to about an hour of y'all time. It all depends. I'm gonna try my best not to do no ad libs and let you get out of it what you want to get out of it. You know what I'm saying? Hey, what it do, Mr. Drop? What's happening? What's happening? What's happening? You know what I'm saying? What's the deal? You already know what time it is. You go ahead and hit them how I hit them. You know what I mean? And y'all still hanging around. Y'all boys want to join later on after I run it down. Hey, y'all more than welcome to jump up. Y'all already know what time it is. You know what I mean? So, yeah. Go ahead and get to this right quick. Get to the screen share. Get to handling business. Get to handling the motherfucking business. All right, the first thing I'm going to run down is I think it's going to be the Black loyalists. Going down to the top of it. Get to the Black loyalists. Get to the top, right? Black loyalists, man. Who are the Black loyalists? Say the Black loyalists were people of African descent who sided with the loyalists during the American Revolutionary War. In particular, the term refers to men who escaped the enslavement of Patriot masters and served on the loyalist side because of the Crown's promises of freedom. Some 3,000 Black loyalists were evacuated from New York to Nova Scotia. They were individually listed in the Book of Negroes as the British gave them certificates of freedom and arranged for their transportation. The Crown gave them land grants and supplies to help them resettle in Nova Scotia. Some of the European loyalists who immigrated to Nova Scotia brought their enslaved servants with them, making for an uneasy society. They say one historian has argued that those enslaved people should not be regarded as loyalists, as they had no choice in their fates. They say other Black loyalists were evacuated to London or the Caribbean colonies. Say thousands of enslaved people escaped from plantations and fled to British lines, especially after British occupation of Charleston, South Carolina. They say when the British evacuated, they took many former enslaved people with them. Many ended up among London's Black poor, with 4,000 resettled by the Sierra Leone Company to Freetown in Africa in 1787. Y'all hear that? Sierra Leone Company, right? Freetown in Africa. That's where someone went to too. It say 5 years later, another 1,192 Black loyalists from Nova Scotia chose to immigrate to Sierra Leone, becoming known as Nova Scotian settlers in the new British colony of Sierra Leone. They say both waves of settlers became part of the Sierra Leone Creole people and the founders of the nation of Sierra Leone. They say Thomas Jefferson referred to the black loyalists as the fugitives from these states. While most black loyalists gained freedom, some did not. They say those who were recaptured by slave traders were sold back into slavery and treated harshly for having served under the British. All right. So the background. It says slavery in England had never been authorized by legal statutes. They say validiage, how you say that, a form of semi-serfdom was legally recognized but long obsolete. It said in 1972, a slave threatened with being taken out of England and returned to the Caribbean challenged the authority of his master in Somerset's case. All right, there's references right there. It's a Chief Justice Lord Mansfield ruled that slavery had no standing under the common law, and slave owners therefore were not permitted to transport slaves outside England and Wales against their will. They say many observers took it to mean that slavery was ended in England. Lower courts often interpreted the ruling as determining the status of slavery did not exist in England and Wales, but Mansfield had ruled more narrowly. The decision did not apply to the 13 colonies and Caribbean colonies, all right, where legislators had passed laws to institutionalize slavery. A number of cases were presented to the English courts for the emancipation of slaves residing in England, and numerous American runaways hoped to reach England where they expected to gain freedom. American slaves began to believe that King George III was for them and against their masters as tensions increased before the American Revolution. Colonial slaveholders feared a British-inspired slave revolt, and Lord Dunmore wrote to the Dartmouth in early 1775 of his intention to take advantage of the situation. Now, I say Lord Dunmore's proclamation. In November 1775, Lord Dunmore issued the controversial Lord Dunmore's proclamation as Virginia's royal governor. So Dunmore was the governor of Virginia. He called on all able-bodied men to assist him in the defense of the colony, including slaves belonging to the Patriots. He promised such slaves recruits freedom in exchange for service in the British Army. I get this supposed to be his words right here. It say, I do require every person capable of bearing arms to resort to His Majesty's standard or be looked upon as traitors to His Majesty's crown and government, and thereby become liable to the penalty of law inflicts upon such offenses, such as forfeiture of life, confiscation of lands, etc., etc. And I do hereby further declare all indentured service, Negroes or others appertaining to rebels, appertaining to rebels free that are able and willing to bear arms. They joining His Majesty's troops as soon as may be, for the more speedily reducing this colony to a proper sense of their duty to His Majesty's crown and dignity. Lord Dunmore's proclamation, November 7, 1775. 1 year before the war, okay? It's within a month, about 800 former slaves had fled to Norfolk, Virginia to enlist. Outraged Virginia slave owners decreed that runaway slaves would be executed. And they also contradicted the British Army's promises by proclaiming that slaves who escaped to the British would be sold to sugarcane plantations in the West Indies. But many slaves were willing to risk their lives for a chance at freedom. Lord Dunmore's proclamation was the first mass emancipation of slaves in America. The 1776 Declaration of Independence refers obliquely to the proclamation by citing it as one of its grievances, that King George III had excited domestic insurrections among us. An earlier version of the declaration was more explicit, stating the following of King James III, but these controversial details were dropped during the final development of the document in Congress. He is now exciting those very people to rise in arms among us and to purchase that liberty of which he has deprived them by murdering the people on whom he has obstructed them. They paying off former crimes committed against the liberties of one people with crimes with the urges, with crimes which he urges them to commit against the lives of another. Draft Declaration, that's the Draft Declaration of Independence, 1776. Okay. It said after the war began, a number of British generals issued proclamations calling the loyalists to free their slaves so that they could join the undermanned British army and bolster its numbers. Among those issuing proclamations were John Murray, 4th Earl of Dunmore, Governor of Virginia, and Sir Henry Clinton. Jamaica's Governor, John Darling, drafted a proposal in 1779 for the enlistment of a regiment of mulattoes and another regiment of free Negroes. Free Negroes, okay. And mulattoes. Phillipsburg Proclamation. With the arrival of 30,000 Hessian mercenary troops, the British did not have as much need of former slaves. Sir William Howe banned the formation of new black regiments and disbanded his own. But freeing slaves of rebels still held value as economic warfare against the American so-called patriots. In 1779, Sir Henry Clinton issued the Phillipsburg Proclamation, expanding Lord Dunmore's proclamation and promising freedom to any escaped slave of a patriot. By contrast, the British often returned escaped slaves to loyalist masters and requested the owner to refrain from punishment. In 1778, the Patriots promised freedom to escape slaves of loyalists. Many on both sides, however, captured these individuals and sold them again into slavery. All right. It's an evacuation and resettlement. When the British evacuated their troops, when the British evacuated their troops from Charleston and New York after the war, they made good on their promises and took thousands of free slaves with them. They resettled the freedmen in colonies in the Caribbean, such as Jamaica and in Nova Scotia and Upper Canada, as well as transporting some to London. The Canadian climate and other factors made Nova Scotia difficult. In addition, the poor blacks of London, many former slaves, had trouble getting work. British activists ultimately founded Freetown in what became Sierra Leone in the coast of West Africa as a place to resettle black loyalists from London and Canada. All this is very, very, very key information, y'all, for the ones that didn't know. I ain't know that a whole bunch of niggas had left here. That's how you get Sierra Leone and all that. I ain't know all that. So it's very interesting to me. Right? It says as a place to resettle black loyalists from London and Canada and Jamaican Maroons. It say nearly 2,000 black loyalists left Nova Scotia to help found the new colony in Africa. All right, so this colony, whole new colony they formed just for the blacks that left here to help with the British is what they're running down right now. All right, they say, listen here. They say black loyalist military units. It said Lord Dunmore's proclamation and others led to the formation of several black regiments in the British Army. The most notable were Dunmore's Ethiopian Regiment and Clinton's Black Company of Pioneers. Okay, Black Company of Pioneers, Ethiopian Regiment. Other regiments included the Jersey Shore. Ain't that a show called Jersey Shore? I'll be down. It said on the Jersey Shore Volunteers, the Jamaica Rangers, the Mosquito Shore Volunteers, and the Black Dragoons of the South Carolina Royalists. All right, so we got Loyalists, Royalists, and what the other one was? I forget the other one, the Patriots. They say it was also common for black loyalists to serve the military in non-combat positions, such as the Black Company of Pioneers. All right, the Black Company of Pioneers and Guides and Pioneers. The largest Black loyalist regiment was the Black Company of Pioneers, better known as the Black Pioneers, and later emerged into the Guides of Pioneers. All right. In the military terminology of the day, a pioneer was a soldier who built roads, dug trenches, and did other manual work. These soldiers were typically divided into smaller corps and attached to the larger armies. The Black pioneers worked to build fortifications and other necessities, and they came to be called upon to work under fire. They served under General Clinton in a support capacity in North Carolina, New York, Newport, Rhode Island, and Philadelphia. They did not sustain any casualties because they were never used in combat. In Philadelphia, their general orders to attend the scavengers, assist in cleaning the streets, and removing all nuances uh, being thrown into the streets. Ethiopian Regiment. Lord Dunmore, y'all already know all that big cat what they just said, right? I know y'all know that already. But anyway, let me keep going. It say Lord Dunmore organized his 800 Black loyalist volunteers in the Ethiopian Regiment. They trained in the rudiments of marching and shooting before engaging in their first conflict in the Battle of Kemp's Landing. The Patriot militia of Kemp's Landing was unprepared for the attack and retreated. Next, Dunmore led the Royal the Royal Ethiopians into the Battle of Great Bridge. Dunmore was overconfident and misinformed about the Patriot numbers. However, and the Patriots overwhelmed the British troops. All right, so the Patriots overwhelmed the British troops. All right, they say after the battle, Dunmore loaded his Black troops onto ships of the British fleet, hoping to take opportunity to train them better. The cramped conditions led to the spread of smallpox. Hold on, wait a minute. So y'all trying to say they didn't want to caught the smallpox? These Black folk, okay, hold on now. But anyway, let me keep going. It say by the time Dunmore retreated to the province of New York, only 300 of the original 800 soldiers had survived. All right, Black Brigade. The Black Brigade was a small combat a small combat unit of 24 in New Jersey. Why everything hollering north, 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 north? Anybody explain that me? Explain that me, please. See, because that's another thing I can get into too, but that's going to be another sidebar. So I'm going to try to keep on going forward about what the true South is and true North and all that there. All right, so let me keep going. It said what it said about Beaumont, New Jersey, who had escaped to British lines early in the war. The title of colonel was not an official military designation, as Blacks were not formally commissioned as officers, but such titles were permitted in an unofficial capacity. Ty and the Black Brigade were the most feared loyalists in New Jersey, and he led them in several raids from 1778 at the Battle of Monmouth to defending the British in occupied New York in the winter of 1779. Beginning in June 1780, Ty led several actions against Patriots in Monmouth County, and he was wounded in the wrist during a raid on a Patriot militia leader in September. Within weeks, he died from gangrene. And Black Pioneer leader Stephen Blucky took over the Black Brigade and led it through the end of the war. So obviously, all these people you can find, you can research. You know what I mean? That's down there a fact. That's what I was saying. All right, so post-war treatment. It's when peace negotiations began after the Battle of Yorktown, the primary issue of debate was the fate of Black British soldiers. The loyalists who remained in the United States wanted Black soldiers returned so their chances of receiving reparations for damaged property would be increased. But British military leaders fully intended to keep the promise of freedom made to Black soldiers, despite the anger of the Americans. And the chaos of the British evacuate, in the chaos as the British now. So when they say Americans, they could be talking about the American Indians and all that type of stuff. You know what I mean? And then we talk, anyway, I ain't gonna go too left. It say in the chaos, and the British evacuated loyalist refugees, particularly from New York and Charleston. Many American slave owners attempted to recapture their former slaves. Some would capture any black, including those born free before the war. Okay? Understand this now. You got people from the north coming down trying to catch their folks. They say they ran away, and they say they'll catch anything. No matter what it is. Oh, yeah. No ad lib, no sidebars. Let me get straight to the meat of it. Let me stick to the information. All right. You say some would capture any black, including those born free before the war, and sell them into slavery. The U.S. Congress ordered George Washington to retrieve any American property, including slaves, from the British, as stipulated by the Treaty of Paris in 1783. All right. Since Sir Guy Carleton intended to honor the promise of freedom, the British proposed a compromise that would compensate slave owners and provide certificates of freedom and the right to be evacuated to one of the British colonies to any black person who would prove his service or status. The British transported more than 3,000 black loyalists to Nova Scotia, the greatest number of people of African descent to arrive there at any one time. One of their settlements, Birchtown, Nova Scotia, was the largest free African American. It said it was the largest free African community in North America for the first few years of its existence. Black loyalists found the northern climate and frontier conditions in Nova Scotia difficult and were subject to discrimination by other loyalist settlers, many of them slaveholders. In July 1784, black loyalists in Shelburne were targeted in the Shelburne riots, the first recorded race riots in Canadian history. The Crown officials granted land to the black loyalists of lesser quality and that were more rocky and less fertile than that given to white loyalists. Okay, there's separation right there. So the black and white loyalists. It said in 1792, the British government offered black loyalists the chance to resettle in the new colony in Sierra Leone. The Sierra Leone Company was established to manage its development. Half of the black loyalists in Nova Scotia, nearly 1,200, departed the country and moved permanently to Sierra Leone. They set up the community of Freetown. In 1793, the British transported another 3,000 blacks to Florida, FLE, Nova Scotia in England, as free men and women. All right, their names were recorded in the Book of Negroes by General Carleton. Not all were so lucky. In the South, blacks were seen as easy targets, and planters often ignored their claims of freedom. And planters often ignored the claims, okay? It said many British officers and loyalists considered them to be spoils of war. They're prisoners of war. Followers know about the indigenous deal. They say when Britain ceded Florida to Spain, many of the freedmen who had been transported there from the United States were left behind when the British pulled out. All right. So it's like, hey, man, yeah, everybody was going to war. Yeah, all them traders and all that. They were trying to help the British and stuff like that. They were thinking they was going to win. They ended up losing. And a lot of them stuck like Chuck. I had to deal with whatever discrimination they had coming for the most part. And that's how it was rocking. It say, however, the Spanish both offered freedom and the right to bear arms to blacks who would convert to Catholicism and encourage slaves to escape to Florida. All right, so now you know the Spanish were down there in Florida running things. And so it was like, hey, listen here, we'll protect you, we'll look out for you, we'll, you know what I'm saying, give you freedom and all that there if you become a Catholic. Y'all got comprehension skills. I ain't got to break that shit down. Descendants, right? It said many descendants of black loyalists have been able to track their ancestry by using General Carleton's Book of Negroes. The number of these descendants is unknown. All right, so any Aboriginals that hear this here, hey, you already know. Say the Book of Carleton's Book of Negroes. Y'all might already be on it, but if not, that's free game right there. So, get some show enough. All right, Nova Scotia. Between 1776 and 1785, around 3,500 blacks were transported to Nova Scotia from the United States. Part of a larger migration of about 34,000 loyalist refugees. This massive influx of people increased the population by almost 60% and led to the establishment of New Brunswick as its own colony in 1784. Most of the free blacks settled at Birchtown, the largest black township in North America at the time, next to the town of Shelburne, settled by whites. All right, free game. They say there are also a number of black loyalists buried in unmarked graves in the old burying ground, Halifax, Nova Scotia. All right, so the pictures and all that say, okay, black loyalist woodcutter at Shelburne, Nova Scotia, coat of arms, black loyalist Heritage Society in Canada. What it said about them? They say the heart of your knowledge is in your roots. All right. So now I say among the descendants of the black loyalists are noted figures such as Rose Fortune. All right, so I can look him up, or look her up rather. They say a black woman living in Nova Scotia who became a police officer and a businesswoman. Say Miasha Berger Goldsman. So they call her like Nee Goldsman for short. They say that the Canadian opera and concert singer is a New Brunswick native and descendant of a black loyalist through her father. All right, they say in the closing days of the Revolution, along with British troops and other black loyalists, her paternal, 4 times great-grandmother and grandmother left the colonies. They were resettled in Shelburne with their first child, who had been born free behind British lines in New York. Commemoration. The Black Loyalist settlement of Birchtown, Nova Scotia, was declared a National Historic Site in 1997. A seasonal museum commemorating the Black Loyalists was opened in that year by the Black Loyalist Heritage Society. A memorial has been established at the Black Loyalist Burying Ground. Built around the historic Birchtown School and church, the museum was badly damaged by an arson attack in 2008, but rebuilt. The society began plans for a major expansion of the museum to tell the story of the Black Loyalists in America, Nova Scotia, and Sierra Leone. But y'all see how you had the people to think that people are from here was originally from Sierra Leone, but it's not like that. It's the other way around, y'all. You know what I'm saying? People left from over here, like people keep saying in the community, and went over there. That's how that was. You know what I mean? But it was by choice for the most part. And in a lot of cases, I guess by force too. You know, so depending on how these folks were renegading after the war. Like they were just kind of just telling us so many words. All right, Sierra Leone. All right, see also Nova Scotian settlers and Sierra Leone Creole people. All right, some black loyalists were transported to London, where they struggled to create new lives. Sympathy for the black veterans who had fought for the British stimulated support for the Committee for the Relief of the Black Poor. This organization backed the resettlement of black poor from London to a new British colony of Sierra Leone in West Africa. In addition, black loyalists in Nova Scotia were offered the opportunity to relocate, and about half chose to move to the new colony. Today, the descendants of these pioneers are known as the Sierra Leone Creole people, or Creoles. They live primarily in the western area of Freetown. Black loyalists from the American South brought their languages to Freetown, such as Gullah from the Low Country and African American vernacular English. All right, so now you Gullah folks, all right? Gullah, South Carolina, Williams bro. Well, I'm just saying, Gullah Geechee. Well, you know, that was Gullah Lee, the tribe, all right? But y'all peep game though. It letting you know that people came from here, I mean, you know, from the United States and went over there. Gullah people did. So the Gullah ain't originate in no Sierra Leone. All right, peep game. I don't want to keep stopping. Free game. I already know y'all hear it on your own. But it's like, God damn it. All right, but listen. Oh, dang, my bad about the profanity, y'all. My bad. I just did a major slip there. Then, yeah, for anybody just might hit, kid just might happen to hit. I might be around somebody. But let me keep going. All right, say the lingua franca was a strong influence on the descendants of this community who developed Creole as a language. It said many of the Sierra Leone Creoles or Creoles can trace their ancestry directly to their black loyalist ancestors. Free game, peep game. They ain't say no African. They say free loyalist ancestors. It's an example of such an okay. Let's speak game now. It's an example of such an ancestor is Harry Washington, likely born about 1740 in the Gambia. See, the change with that Gambia. It's enslaved as a young man and shipped to Virginia. It said, listen now. You say in the Gambia. You say, hold on. It's a likely. Y'all see that? It's an example of such an ancestor is Harry Washington, likely born. So they don't know for a fight. Likely born about 1740 in the Gambia. Enslaved as a young man and shipped to Virginia. He was purchased by George Washington in 1763. He escaped about 1776 in Virginia to British lines, eventually making his way to New York. Okay? How do you know all that? So he was among the free blacks evacuated to Nova Scotia by the British following the war. He later took the opportunity to migrate to Freetown in Africa. There, by 1800, he became the leader of a rebellion against colonial rule and faced a military tribunal. His descendants are part of the Creole population. Huh? Hold up, wait a minute. You see what I'm talking about? Is that who make up 5.8% of the total. All right, so notable black loyalists. That's the end of the black loyalists, right? So we got Stephen Bluckett, David George, Abraham Hazele, Boston King, John Keyser, John Myron, Cato Perkins, Thomas Peters, Colonel Ty, and Harry Washington, all right? Say in popular culture, the saga of the black loyalists inspired Lawrence Hill's 2007 novel, The Book of Negroes, published as Someone Knows My Name in the United States. Hey, listen to that. Y'all heard that? Say published as Someone Knows My Name. And just tell them who she is. It said it won the 2008 Commonwealth Award for fiction. For fiction, huh? All right. See also Black Refugee War, 1812, Black Nova Scotians, History of Nova Scotia, Birchtown, Nova Scotia, Billy Slade, references. See all your references down there. Read all the references. Y'all ever see it's plenty. For you boys that need more details, there you go. All right. So now let's get to the next part of it. Since y'all already see that it was some people going for the what they call them, for the loyalists, and there was more people going for the other folk. I might have to type it in again. I thought I probably might have X'd it out. Let's see. Hold on. Give me a second. Black Patriots. Get on to the people y'all already see. History Channel out on folks talking about it. Gonna go back to the detail right quick. Get a general understanding. See, man, you're supposed to know something about something, right? So you gotta follow all these links, right? Not necessarily the links, you know what I mean? Just other information, however you get it, and stuff you already know. If you already know about the Revolutionary War, you might need to go look at that again and just see what they keep on letting you know and getting you extra little detail. Yeah, I ain't gotta teach y'all how to research, but then we're gonna get to the business. All right, then we're gonna get to the business. I hope y'all enjoying this. Everybody that's gonna hear this later on. I hope y'all peeping game about something. Hope y'all catch something about something. All right, so now we got the Black Patriots. We just ran through the Black Loyalists. Now we got the Black Patriots. Just a little rundown before we run into this one here, right? We know the Black Loyalists supposedly was people that was helping the British, you know what I mean, and all that there, which we already know is part of the Black Europeans. They claim that they just came up, they said they were from Africa and all that, supposed to have a little Ethiopian regime that I guess whoever was supposed to have concocted together, but we already know that the black folks already had their own little armies, their own little militias and stuff like that down in the South and everything else. And in the North, man, we already know it's a whole bunch of, we was running things. So they letting y'all know what time it is, but they ain't hiding the fact that blacks was fighting on both sides. So when I be like black on black crime and all that type of stuff has been going down. So you got half of the blacks that want to break free from the British and the Europeans, and then you got half of the other blacks, they want to stay down with the British and the Europeans. You know what I mean? And at the same time, you got the Spanish around, and you got everybody else. You know what I mean? That, this mixing with this tribe, this side, this people, motherfuckers getting captured, everybody finessing, they get caught by the union. Nah, man, I'm Patriot, you know what I mean? Or whatever, it's a whole lot of trickery going on, There's a whole lot of things going on during that time. That's just really all I'm trying to say with y'all people, how serious it gets. So we talk about Nova Scotia, these boys behind Nova Scotia, which y'all already know that it's kind of like for the black people went up there, they didn't come from down. You know what I'm saying? And then they was sit to London. So anyway, my brain is working, y'all. That's why I'm talking the way I'm talking. I'm like teaching myself while I'm speaking out loud, but connecting everything together. But I know y'all brain gonna connect things how y'all connected. All right, let's get into the Black Patriot part of it. All right, Black Patriot was an African American who sided with the colonists who opposed British rule during the American Revolutionary War. The term Black Patriots include, but it's not limited to, the 5,000 or more African Americans, right? African American for some reason, who fought in the Continental Army during the war. Now, I'm trying not to ad-lib too much, y'all, but y'all know we got the Continental Congress and all that type of stuff. We had the Continental Presidents where they were saying that John, I want to say, I could be quoting wrong now. I want to say John Hanson or something like that. That was the first black president of the continental United States and all that before George Washington, and it was more before that. All right, but we talking about Continental Army during the war. All right, say this was in contrast to the black loyalists. All right, so let's explain the beef I was trying to tell y'all about. All right, they say African Americans who sided with the British forces, many families escaped indentured servitude to take up the British offer of freedom for service, making their way to British lines and territory for safety. First Patriot martyr, Crispus Attucks is considered to be the first black patriot because he was killed in the Boston Massacre. Attucks was commemorated for his fellow Bostonians as a martyr for freedom. Of mixed Native American and African ancestry, he was a fugitive slave who had escaped in 1750 from a farm in Framingham, Massachusetts. His death in the Boston Massacre is considered to be the first patriot fatality of the war. So y'all people, what's going on, right? So the first person that supposedly died in the war was a black man named Crispus Attucks. He had Native American ancestry. They tried to call him a slave and all that. Y'all see all the word game going on, but again, you a whole bunch of truth in the middle. Like, hold up, wait, what's really going on though? Like, what's really going on? All right. So let's keep going. Say black patriots who served in the state militias. State militias. The Bucks of America were an all-black Massachusetts militia company organized in 1775 in Boston. This was the name given to one of two all-black units fighting for independence. There is little known of the campaign history of the Bucks Company, of course, or if they ever saw combat, of course, like they tried to say about the other ones, right? It appears that they operated mainly around Boston. Enough again, the Bucks of America may have acted primarily as an auxiliary police or security force in the city during the war. they most likely did not see action against regular British soldiers. Yeah, y'all hear the finesse game? All of a sudden, you had the white boys, so they were the soldiers, and all the black folks on both sides, they were just like the cleanup guys, police, and all that. The help, huh? Anyway, man. All right. So now we're dealing with the Black Patriots who served in the Continental Army. Y'all already see that soldier. I don't know what they're talking about. All right. They say after the British started recruiting African Americans to start serving as assisting the British cause on the promise of freedom, Americans began to recruit free blacks in New England and the East Coast to serve in the army. They were promised a life of luxury and mobility if they joined the war. The Northerners were trying to escape the harsh treatment of blacks during the slavery era. By joining war, they believed they were bettering the lives of African Americans all over. Most of the time, Black Patriot soldiers served as individuals in a variety of predominantly white units of the Continental Army. All right. So I wonder why is that though? See, because when we go into this, anyway, that's gonna be another little sidebar, but for real, like a lot of the Slavic people in Europe and all that, they were the ones being used in the militaries and stuff like that, and the so-called Berbers and Moors, and because this is a French man right here. They ain't gonna tell y'all that, but that's a French soldier right there. That's who that is. You know, when you think about what captains come from and all that, French. But anyway, I ain't gonna go out there. But let me just keep on staying on task. All right, let me get back to where I was at. I forgot where I was at though. Let me get on bike. Okay, say by joining the war, they believe they were better than okay, let's all right, say most of the time, Black Patriot soldiers served as individuals in a variety of they served as individuals. How that they slaves? They say in a variety of predominantly white units of the Continental Army. The first Rhode Island Regiment, also known as Varnum's Continentals. Yeah, my bad, y'all. I done missed the whole. Anyway, Continentals was the Continental Army Regiment from Rhode Island. It became well known as the Black Regiment because for a time it had several companies of African American soldiers. It is regarded as the first African American military regiment, although its ranks were not exclusively African American. Okay. Captain David Humphreys, all Black, 2nd Company of the Connecticut Continental Line, served from October 1780 to November 1782. On November 27, 1780, Humphreys' Black Company was assigned to the 3rd Connecticut Regiment. Man, hold on, man. Y'all see how this just keep on being in the North though, man? This kind of weird. Nigga, on the other one, they were saying it was all in the North. And they ain't say too much about the South. You know, I think the farthest South we'd heard so far, like Virginia and South Carolina and all that there, you know, and so some kind of confusing, right? Some kind of weird, some off. Because now they talking about they in Philadelphia and all that. What did they say? They said some of them no. You know what I'm saying? So hey, you know it's the North against the North. Hey, it's a big old finesse game going on some kind of way. What like the front line, resistance, something like that. I don't know, but let's keep going. So that means we were promising them white boy they slave. Well, I ain't gonna say it like that, but it's like somebody was being promised slavery and they promised to be free. You know, we already had made some plays on the other side with King James and all them people. You know, like the Black people per se in general. That's what I'm speaking in general. But anyway, let me keep reading, man. My brain been went everywhere. I've been start pulling up all kind of stuff. All right, but say Captain, they would say Connecticut, huh? It said Captain David Humphreys, all Black, 2nd Company of the Connecticut Continental Line, served from October 1780 to November 1782. On November 27, 1780, Humphreys' Black Company was assigned to the 3rd Connecticut Regiment. On January 1st, 1781, the regiment was merged with the 4th Connecticut Regiment, reorganized into 9 companies. and redesignated as the 1st Kinetic Regiment. William Billy Lee was an enslaved valet of George Washington, who served in the who served in the Continental Army and fought with the general forces. With the general's forces, Lee was considered to be Washington's favorite slave and was often featured in the background of General's portrait. See that person in the back of the portrait? No, that ain't no slave, cuz they'll lie to you and right to your face. All right, so descendants, famed African American Harvard scholar and Professor Henry Louis Gates. Henry Louis Gates, huh? Is descended from John Redman. See, listen, man, this should be crazy. Man, this be crazy, man. I don't know y'all be seeing what I be seeing. Why they talking about Gates, man? And they had gave another name earlier, and I forget what that name was, but it was a little red flag name too. All right, but it say descendants, right? Famed African American Harvard scholar and Professor Henry Louis Gates is descended from John Redman, a free Negro who served in the Continental Army. Gates is currently working on a project to find all descendants of Black patriots who served in the Army, American Revolution Continental Army. I didn't read it up under that picture right quick. It said a depiction of the 1781 Battle of Cowpens showed an unarmed patriot Black soldier, possibly a slave, on the far left. Y'all always talk that. See, y'all hear them keywords. Y'all got to peek them kind of wherever y'all read through these folks stuff, man. Them likelies and possiblies and maybes and ifs and buts and how. And listen, man, it say on the far left, firing his pistol, saving the life of Colonial William Washington, mounted on a white horse in the center, from an 1845 painting by William Raney. All right, proposed national memorial. Main article, National Library Memorial. All right. They said the National Library Monument is a proposed national memorial to be located in the capital to honor the more than 5,000 enslaved and free persons of African descent who served as soldiers or sailors. Sailors. I think I already ran down to y'all about the captain had and all that. That's a sailor cap, the French. Okay, and the French gave George Washington the money. Y'all remember that they owed the French some money, because they nobody want to do put in no work unless they got some coins, some gold coins, and all that. There, when you look into the actual story, and you understand who the boss and who was the peon. All right. So listen. I say 5,000 enslaved and free persons of African descent who served as soldiers and sailors and provided civilian assistance during the American Revolutionary War, right? So they provided assistance. They say the memorial is an outgrowth of a failed effort to erect a Black Revolutionary War Patriots Memorial. This was authorized in 1986, but fundraising faltered and the Memorial Foundation dissolved in 2005. It's like after the United States got their little freedom or whatever, after everybody on this land helped them out. It's like they just wanted to, they start finessing. Okay, but anyway. All right, it said Congress authorized the National Liberty Monument in January 2013. On September 8th, 2014. The United States House of Representatives passed a joint resolution approving the location of the Capitol of a memorial to commemorate the more than 5,000 slaves and free Black people who fought for independence in the American Revolution. So they y'all, they just ran this by us in 2014. Commemorating this here. So they already let you know. They know how the history is and how it really is, and they know. Man, it's a lot of things they know, and they kind of try to let you know in the cool. They're just dropping the sources. You got to grab the sources up out of there and run off with it and see where it leads you to. All right. Let me keep going. I think that was it, though. Yeah, that was it. All right, say notable Black patriots, though, right? It's a main article, The Colored Patriots of American Revolution. Toby Gilmore, Alexander Amis, Crispus Attucks, Charles Boule, Jeffrey Brace, Joseph Brown, Seymour Burr, Wentworth Cheswell, Titus Coburn, Brant Cooper, Paul Cuffey, Austin Dabney, James Armistead Lafayette, Caesar Dickerson, Charlestown Eods, James Easton, Prince Easterbrook, William Flora, Osaba, Gus Werner, I think that says right, Blaney Grusher, Jude Hall, Primus Hall, Cuff Haynes, Lemuel Haynes, Henry Hill, Cato Howard, Agrippa Hull, Jeremy, Jonah, Lambert Latham, they deep, Cato Mead, Jack Little, Barzili Lou, Salem Poole, with James Robinson, Silas Royal, Peter Salem, Prince Simbo, Felix Wheatley, Prince Whipple, right? Yeah, Prince Whipple. That name always popping up. And Boston Wright. All right, so y'all already see little sources and all that type of stuff. You know what I mean? But yeah. So y'all already see what's going on. You know, these people, everybody fighting, all that type of stuff. They give you a whole rundown of all these people right here, all these black patriots. You look through some of the pictures, them show you a whole group of these boys. These boys was running the continental United States back in the gap. Let me show you. All right, so first of all, let me show you this picture right here, but it come up big, so y'all kind of see it. I don't think we're gonna do it. I don't know how to get it big for y'all. It's my fault. Because I ain't really trying to go through all that. But yeah, let me try to go back to the picture though. Show y'all another picture I'm trying to show you though. But that's good. That's gonna be big enough. You see what I'm saying? You can tell you got the little white boy. You see how the black man kind of like stepping back a little bit. Let you know who the power is. Like that, you know, he running him. So you check this out. I wish this picture was big for y'all. But when that picture, you know, fuck all that. I ain't finna go through all that explaining with y'all. Hey, but y'all look through it though, and y'all think that it's his slave, then that's just on you. But he ain't the slave. That's really what I'm trying to tell you. Make a long story short about that. All right, let's see. Let's see what else. I'm gonna show y'all. But y'all already see what's going on. Yeah, these brothers right here. This picture I was trying to show y'all. The one right there. That's them boys that was on. They all like congressmen and all that. When you go through all their names, y'all to see they supposed to be somebody or whatever. As far as like the Congress and all that type of stuff. And you know, they always try to hit you with, yeah, they was a slave here and they was a slave there, but they got Native American blood here and Native American blood there and all that type of stuff. You know what I mean? So that's what they're doing. That's what they're saying about these people. You know what I mean? So yeah, I just wanted to point that out to y'all. And yeah, these folks know what's going on. So I just want to kind of just point out the difference between the black loyalists and the black patriots. To let y'all know that that's probably like associated with the the Boule and all that there, and even like trickling down within our own communities sometimes. You know what I mean? When it comes to people and you know getting along to a certain extent, but they ain't what I'm really talking about though. Like fuck all that to get along shit I'm talking about. But y'all know what I'm talking about at the end of the day, as far as like the black loyalists and the black patriot type shit and how it's right up in our nose and how they hit you with the Sierra Leone and all that. Like, yeah, that's where we from. That's why we African and all this kind of crazy ass shit. But it's straight up letting you know that we came over, that we left here to go over there. You know what I mean? They say that it's plain as day. Well, I'm gonna drop this here real quick. See if any of y'all want to jump on right quick. Y'all just want to kick it. I'll let this motherfucker run all night, even though I ain't here. You know what I'm saying? Just letting you know. If anybody want to jump on, you know what I mean? But that's really the whole spiel though. At the end of the day, for the ones that might not have known about that, and so when you start going into the Sierra Leone, you start going into Liberia, that's another African spot that was made just for black people doing that same little war action. As a matter of fact, to be honest with you, they were dealing with the same little war, same little war though. So I found out that to be very, 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 very interesting. Very interesting. You know what I'm saying? But yeah, for the most part, man, y'all know I just like to just do what I do, put out what I put out. But like I say, I don't think people be checking things out for what it actually is. Yeah, know I just be cooling for real though. That's what I be on. I ain't see nobody live, so like hell, fuck it. I just go ahead and go live and put this shit out real quick. Be showing her a lot of this shit. Don't nobody jump up here and probably show a couple more things. I don't tell her. Yeah, Net Connect, man. Y'all already know what it is, man. Net Connect. Make sure y'all subscribe for the one that's ducked behind the corners. You know what I mean? They ain't really, hey, go ahead and subscribe. Y'all already know we got all the big hitters on here. You know what I mean? People that doing their thing. You know what I mean? Shout out to the female first. You know what I mean? We're gonna holler at Sister Soul. Y'all already know she be dropping her thing. She be dropping all kind of sciences. You know what I mean? When it comes to the waveforms and light and energy. Y'all already know how she rock, food, health, all that. Get with her. Y'all already know my boy Greedy Vegan. Y'all already know he be on a whole bunch of things too. You know what I mean? He go everywhere. You know what I mean? Hey, y'all already know what that is. You know what I mean? Make sure y'all go holler at you and Pete. Y'all already know how you and Pete do when it comes to the word. You know, he already about the words. You know what I mean? Everything is a spell to him. Everything is a breakdown. So, hey, y'all already know what it is when you're dealing with him. Then, you got your boy Sir Drop. You know what I mean? Already shirt drop just like it's about what it is, man. It's a shirt drop is just pure genius, and it's like, hey, he'll play you like he ain't really on it. And everything he hit your ass with a fucking masterpiece. Some shit you had to put in history books. Like, god damn, that was sharp. You know what I mean? Less than goddamn 4 sentences in most cases. So y'all already know what it is, man. For real, for real. You know what I mean? Y'all already know your brother Cook. You know what I mean? He gonna hit y'all there with that Masonic, that Christianity, all the way to your goddamn face. You know what I mean? Yeah, don't know what you're talking about. You might well shut your mouth. You know what I mean? Y'all already know how he rock. You know what I'm saying? You think about anybody else out there in the community, y'all already know Copper Tone. He gonna hit you anyway with that. How he say? He said, imagine, huh? Y'all already know he come with it, Florida boy. Y'all already know time it is. He ain't playing with you at all. You know what I mean? Just straight, he gonna get you straight like that. How we say down in Florida. You know what I'm saying? Get you straight like that, bro. Like, hey, however you want to take it. You know what I mean? So yeah, it's like that, man. I'm thinking about somebody else, man, just in case I forget anybody. Since Net Connect all about shouting people out, promoting the next man, you know what I mean? Letting the next man know, hey, let's do this thing. You know what I'm talking about? Yeah, well, I get my head right and roll up and just kick it with y'all. I ain't got shit to do. I do this shit by myself all night long. You know what I'm saying? For real, for real. You know? Think about anybody else out there. Shout out to the boy Sanchez too. Y'all already know how he be doing. Everybody fuck with Sanchez. Y'all know everybody know Sanchez. Shout out to Sanchez too. Shout out. Boy questioning everything. Chris Cypher. Y'all already know Chris Cypher. Gotta fuck with Chris Cyphers. No doubt. You know what I'm saying? I can't think about everybody, y'all. I hope y'all niggas don't be in y'all feeling about shit. Not for real, because I'm just finessing. That's all I'm doing. I'm freestyling. You know? Don't take it personal. If I miss you, don't take it personal. You know what I'm saying? Everybody be doing what they doing, man. Y'all already know. That's my philosophy. Let it do what it do. Let it do what it do, man. Ain't nobody gonna help you but you. You don't know that by now. I don't know what to tell you to do. Ooh. Ain't that a cold-blooded shame? When you look around, you ain't got nobody to blame. When everything you do can possibly be in vain, on your knees praying. Help me, man. Help me, man. Help me. Hey. Don't get me started. Come off the dome, all I know how to be is retarded. Is it a bird? Is it a plane? Damn, it sounds like you're going insane. Ooh wee. Can it be? This little light of mine, I'm gonna let it shine. Let it shine, let it shine, let it shine. Huh? What y'all tell the church to say? It's a man. It's a man. Mama, there go that man. What did you say? Big dog Philly. I see Big dog Philly in the building. I see the boy Young Ricky in the building. You know what I'm saying? I see people out there. I'm paying a little attention now. I got my head up. Ain't no disrespect. You know what I'm saying? Y'all already know what it is. Everybody out there supposed to already know what it is when it comes to me. You know what I'm saying? Supposed to already know that. Supposed to already know that. But just in case y'all didn't hear what I was talking about, though, I was talking about them black patriots, and I was talking about them black goddamn me. Oh yeah, I gotta watch a little language if I can. The black patriots and the what were the other ones, y'all? For the people out there that were paying attention, and the black loyalists, huh? How one was on one side, one was on the other side. How they created Sierra Leone, and all that there for the people that had to run over there, stuff like that. It ain't too fast. There's been a little minutes I decided to actually go live and really care enough to try to put something out, man. Ain't really nothing. Ain't really nothing, man. Just trying to support how everybody try to support. You know, ain't no telling what a person need to hear sometimes. Shit. Like I was saying, you can't really tell no grown folk what to do at the end of the day. Anyway, that ain't never been my style. You know what I'm saying? But I hope y'all having a great day, great week, great month, great year. I can't even see how long this stream been going. Yeah, let me turn this off right quick. I can't even see. But I'm just talking. I got shit going on. Like I said, I'm gonna kick it for a little minute. I might show y'all a couple more shits or whatever, just to kick the bullshit. I ain't got that. Anybody want to jump on this motherfucker? Try to start that goddamn link again. How you do that shit? You know what I'm saying? Got a link for you. Anybody want to jump up there? Got something to say about anything? Want to put it down? I already know I'm gonna let you do what you do. If anybody just want to be heard about anything, just jump up and spit it. The boy Big Dog Philly in the motherfucker. Y'all already know he about to get y'all. Niggas fuck the Bible, man. Fuck all that shit, man. Y'all already know what Big Dog Philly finna hit you with. What it do, Philly? What's that name?
What's good, my brother? Just coming up to pay some respects. That's all, man. That's all. Much love, much respect, my brother.
Straight up, man, no doubt. Highly appreciate it. You already know. That mean the Most High got something for you to say, whoever that is, right?
Yeah,
Whoever that
I
is.
was, I'm former military, so I probably would be under the not the loyalists, the other ones, but I put all that shit past me, man. I'm for my people. You know what I
That's
mean?
perfect. Sorry, my bad for cutting you off.
Man,
Go
go ahead,
ahead.
brother. I'm talking with you. I'm good.
Okay,
Let's
that's
talk.
great, man. So that lead me to a question because I didn't even really, I don't know what I'm thinking about. Yeah, since you was in the military and stuff like that, I'm sure you probably know a lot about that. So are you already familiar about familiar with the Patriots and the loyalists? Are you already familiar with those people?
No, sir. No,
Hmm.
my brother. I had a vague understanding of the Patriots.
Hmm.
But I never knew of, being honest, I never knew of the loyalists.
Straight up,
But
straight up.
to me, if they would probably be the Boule, the universities or the college.
That's right. That's how I was seeing it too, Leo. Just like that.
The ones that didn't want to serve the military, they went into their business professions or their professions, doctors, lawyers, dentists, that kind of stuff.
That's
Paper,
right.
basically paper pushers.
That's exactly how I see it. Just like that. Right up under our nose, huh? Like who would have known?
Yeah.
Were you familiar with that aspect of them creating Sierra Leone for people that left from here over there?
Uh, no, I have no parts with over there, my brother. Being honest, I did my study of my family genealogy or whatever you want to call it, and basically I found my people in Georgia, man.
Oh,
And
no doubt. No. I guess you misheard what I was saying. No, what I was saying is like, were you familiar that the country or the state or country or whatever you want to call it in Africa called Sierra?
No, my brother. No, I wasn't. I'm just saying I wouldn't want to go there, me personally.
Oh yeah, hell no, me neither. I ain't saying hell no, Leo. I ain't applying that shit at all. You know what I mean? I guess the reason why it intrigues me, right, is because you know how people be arguing a lot, right, Leo? You know, I try to sit back and listen a lot, and then when I come up because I be like, damn, maybe it's something I can add, you know, to give people a different insight or better insight. You know, not to try to tell them about what the fuck to think. You see what I'm saying? But like to me, a lot of stuff is common sense. You see what I'm saying?
Yeah.
And so it's like when you hear, okay, let's say for instance, right? I never really looked into Sierra Leone or Liberia and places like that because I would automatically assume that it's a place that's always been in Africa.
Mm-hmm.
You see what I'm saying? So
That's
I wouldn't
right.
even think to even look at it, Leo. You see, and then for some reason I was looking into some other things. I think I was looking to the Slavic people and stuff like that, but don't go to Kobe. But I was looking into some more things.
It's cool.
And I happened to run across that. And I was like, what the hell? This is crazy. Like, what the fuck? Hold on. You trying to tell me this Sierra Leone shit came from people that left the Americas and they formed it over there? You know what I mean? For the people in America, like specifically for them. And then you had some shit called American Colonization Society, Leo. And so they like the main pool prints of all this shit. And so I was like, what the fuck? You know, so I'm like, damn. So I was like, okay, maybe the people that say we're from Africa and stuff like that, maybe they're not aware or familiar with that move that was made back in the days. And by them speaking about New York people, you know what I mean? They're saying New York this, New York that, New York, New York. You know, so that's letting you know, right?
Mm-hmm.
And that's the main people that be kicking that Africa stuff. It's the people from New York. They know.
Exactly. Like I basically like I said basically my understanding of the Africa shit was basically what we were taught in school. You know what I mean? And you know, and that's where I kept it. Like I don't consider myself a educated person. I consider myself a common sense person. That like you talked about that common sense and how can I put it? You know, the basic education. You know what I mean?
That's right. The only thing that you really need in life, right?
Exactly.
You know what I mean? Like I've always learned, Lord, you know how to count. You know what I mean? You know how to understand what somebody's telling you or when they're trying to hurt you. That's all you need to know.
Really, you know what I mean?
You know what I'm saying? What does it really know?
Because like I said, like I always tell people, only reason I didn't I went in the military is because I seen myself going to prison for a long time.
That was a smart move. A lot of people made, especially at your age, you know what I mean? A lot of y'all made that move back in the days because they was promoting that, right, Leo, back in your days?
Yes,
Like,
sir.
you know,
But the only
yeah.
thing is, it wasn't no jobs in Philadelphia. You know what I mean? I grew up as a kid. My whole life up until 50 years old was the streets of Philadelphia.
Hell yeah.
You know what I mean? So it wasn't a lot of jobs in the 80s when I went in there, and that coke and that crack epidemic was crazy. You know, I always tell people this. I basically went in the military because I had a crack addiction, one, and I was seeing myself on my way to going to jail. I haven't
That's
touched that.
crazy, man.
I
We're gonna
have
get right,
I
right. We're gonna get right back to it too, Leo. Let me just introduce
but
Rock real quick. What's going on, brother Rock? You know what I mean? Hey, thanks for joining the show, man. You know what I mean? Hey, you already know whatever on your mind, you can run it. But just let Leo finish right quick. You know what I'm saying? Just want to just acknowledge you, bro. But yeah, Leo, back to what you saying though, like how
respect my brother Rock.
Yeah.
Yeah, basically I was doing crack at a young age, and I basically had to, you know, see myself if I was going to do 15 to 20, or I signed them papers and one in the military, and basically detoxed myself while I was in the military, and haven't touched that shit since. I got over 30 plus years off of that shit. You know what I mean?
That's
By
right.
myself, my willpower.
I want to ask you, Leo, man, because you say, right, you say about the in Philly, man, I can, you know, I've never been to Philly. Actually, I've never really been up north at all, right? But when you say Philly and the age that you at, I'm thinking the 70s, 80s, stuff like that, you know? And so I already know it's a lot, like the mob, everybody was doing their thing back then. I know you say you were ripping and running. So I was just wondering, like, was it like that in the time that you was coming up, you know what I mean, your era? Like, I know you were saying, the reason why I'm asking you this, because you were saying that it was a lot of things going on during the time in your life to where you felt like going to the army was the best bet for you. You know what I'm saying?
It really is. It was the only bet for me because basically, like I said, Philadelphia is a big city. You got populations of millions of people. I mean, millions. I ain't exact sure the number, but I know it's over 10 or 12 million. I know that much. But it was crazy, man. The same thing that's going on in Philadelphia now is the same thing that was going on back then. They was pumping all the big cities with all the drugs. It was no jobs. Our parents had to basically struggle to take care of us. You know what I mean? So it's no different than what's happening now. It's a
That's right.
big ass city, man.
Straight up, man. So we're gonna go ahead and let's see what Rock got to say right quick, man. Thank you for sharing all that though, Leo, man. I'm definitely gonna hit you some more questions though, bro.
No
I
problem,
could
brother.
tell Philly was
Anytime, man.
wild, bro. You know what I'm saying?
Anytime, my brother. Go ahead, Rob.
What's the deal, Rob? What's on your mind, man? Talk to him. If you still there, my brother, like you muted, you might not be there right now. You know, until you come back, you know what I mean? We're just gonna keep on chopping it up, bro. You got the flow whenever you ready. You know. But what's going on to the people, man? Everybody's checking it out, checking us out. You know what I mean? Anybody want to join? Y'all already know what it is. I'm gonna try to drop the link in there one more time for y'all. It's probably still visible. I don't know, but I'm just gonna drop it anyway. You know what I mean, man? Leo just chopped it up, man. We're talking about like them Patriots and the loyalists and how I think they probably morphed to the Boule. You know? So I don't know what y'all think about that. People in the chat, anybody know what anybody think about it? Y'all can make y'all comments and everything too, for sure.
Yeah,
anything else you gotta say to chop it up, Leo? Go ahead and chop.
Like I was saying, basically, I think the Boule was the loyalists was the upper class, the doctors, the lawyers, the professionals, you know, the universities, the HBCUs, who still holding the clout to this day. You know what I mean? And it's just
right.
wow, man. How we were separated back then. That's the crazy part. You know what I mean?
Yes, sir.
How we were separated back then.
I see my boy Greedy Vegan in the building. I see him out there. Shout out to Greedy Vegan, man. You know, like I already say, y'all check him out. You know what I mean? Y'all already know he be on every level with it. You know what I mean? Be doing his thing, hotter than summer bitches. Motherfucker, I'm about to crack up that fan on y'all ass, man. Y'all might have to hear that shit blowing. I ain't
Peace,
lying,
peace.
nigga.
Yeah, do what you
But
gotta
yeah,
do,
shout out
bro.
to everybody in the chat, man. Jennifer Hawkins, you know, everybody. You know what I mean? I think they say Lorraine. What's your name? Talk to him. Let them know who
Mariah,
you is.
what's
Lerai.
up? How
What's the
you doing?
deal?
Hey,
Just
I just
chilling,
wanted to
Lerai. Mm-hmm.
I have certain situations. Um for those who don't mind the idea of praying, I have my family structure, the immediate ones. There's some people that I keep close, that I have the ability to keep close by me, and because I have I have an elder sister. There's chaos, and I have cousins, and I'm hopefully going to be able to stick close to these people, but there's chaos within the family, and it's stupid, ridiculous, but it's chaos. So those who don't mind the idea of praying, think about us.
Okay. Well, first of all, I want to
But
say, Rod.
I was
Hold
go
on one
ahead.
second. I want to say to Rod, just in case you ain't hear me, I was trying to get you to come on, man, and talk to us. For some reason, you probably had stepped off or something, just so you know, brother. Now, run that by us again, Miss Lorraine. First of all, like, what's up with you? Like, how you feeling? You know what I mean? I can see how you
Um,
not feeling so well
I
right now, but I mean, like, repeat
yeah,
that again.
I was going through some sickness a little bit ago, and then I had a chance to talk to some of me people, my family, some of the people that I would consider close, and then some cousins and some family friends. And one of my cousins was telling me about the disconnection of the family. Um, there is My mother and dad had everybody. There's 11 of us. There was 11 of us. Now we're down to 9. Um, so one of the sisters, there's always been a disconnect. Family struggle, family chaos. Yeah, and I had a chance to talk to my cousin, and when we really get around the chance, me and me cuz we gonna link up. We gonna chop it up, link up with a couple of other cousins and everything, and call it a day. But when it comes to that sister, I'm not gonna have. It's a distant thing.
I like to say really about that though. Shout out to you and P2 in the building. I see him with that Sister Soul, everybody that was in the building that I missed. Y'all already know what it is, man. Y'all already know. I don't think I really tell you, to be honest with you, Rachel. I think L'Oreal. I think your name Rachel, right? I remember talking to you before. You Rachel,
Yeah,
right? Um,
yeah. That's my government.
hey baby. Oh, I'm on the show. We said yeah, that's your government, but I just wanted to say to you though, for real, is that people have problems with their people all the time. You know what I
Yeah,
mean? Everybody have a problem with their brother, their sister, their loved ones. You know what I mean? That is how it is sometimes. Just to be honest with you, it ain't really nothing you can do about it, but just keep on pushing forward and moving through it. Because
yeah,
especially when it comes to family, like ones that's really, really like your blood people. Like it ain't no getting rid of them. You know what I mean? Like no way,
yeah,
no how. It ain't gonna never happen. You know what I mean? So that is how, and not to sound like I don't care about your situation. You know what I mean? I understand what you said earlier about make sure everybody put good energy, the ones that pray and all that. You know what I mean? Pray for you and
yeah,
stuff like that. You know what I mean? But I try to walk in positive energy all the time. So when I'm talking to you, I'm already trying to send positive energy toward anybody I encounter. Honestly, you know what I mean?
yeah.
Just
But
so yeah. Thanks for
here,
sharing that with us, though. For real. You know.
within the conversation, it was this happened what yesterday, the day before,
Hmm.
and yeah, and then there's this one lady that I keep in contact with. Um, she is one of my build up partners, right? Her name
Right.
would be Nita L. Young. And I told her, I gave her, I shared the links and everything with her. And, I mentioned to her before that, she has a different perspective than me, but we kind of fill each other out a little bit to
Yeah.
whatever degree.
Hmm.
Because I'm one to say, I would be quick to say that, I am trying to keep in study with scripture. I would be quick to say that, absolute. But at the same time, there are people that I know for sure, absolute. Man, they ain't about that. So what happened was, there is those very same people. Yeah, Philly. Um, there's there's plenty of people, of course, but I get a bit of sense and logic from those.
Right. I mean, like I say, especially for kind of religion, anything, so everybody not gonna believe what you believe. People gonna see things differently. You know what I mean? And
Hmm.
I mean, I just don't really know what to tell you when it comes to stuff like that, Rachel. I'll be lying to you. If I tell you that, hey, hey, yeah, you should go against your sister. You should just be like, and yeah, I agree with you or whatever. Or, oh, she's wrong. It's not really about that at the end of the day. You know what I mean? It's about you not allowing things to affect you in a way that you don't want to be affected, no matter
I think
who's
it's both
doing
of
it,
those things.
huh?
I really think it's what you're saying is absolute, but I also think it's the other thing.
I, I mean, okay. I would love to try to get to right quick, just in case he want to say something, because like he keeps like something wrong with his phone or something. They're gonna check on him one more time. So where
All
you at,
right.
Rob? What's happening, man? What's the deal? You there or not, man? What's up? Talk to him. You on there or not, man? What's wrong with your stuff? I don't want to cut nobody off if you there, if you ain't got nothing to say. What's up? What's up? What's up, Rob? You there?
I was also saying that okay, the lady, her name would be L. Young. She might very well be into the more idea system, but she has told me about, I don't know if anybody would be, how many people would be interested in hearing about this perspective. Um, she likes the herbal, and she likes to try to, see what works well on her body. And but she got more deeper into it. She got into the psychedelics, like I said in the message, yeah. She's did it more than one times, and me, I like that sense of things, but I don't think that anytime soon ever that I'm going to put that in my system. And because the trust fact, we talked about that there's a trust fact, of course, that you have to have with um and all I hear about people who have done that. They would go outside of their safety zone, their location, wherever they live at. They would go all the way, even if it's a mile away, it's still a mile away. And they would take the psychedelic, and then they would get whatever uh, cleansing or whatever effect that happens when people really want to be about that, uh whatever you want to call it. And like I say, I told her that I told her about the family and everything. Huey P, I'm sure that you would be very well interested in talking to her too. uh but she's done she's about trying to cleanse and saying how, one of the things with her cleansing of her body, not per se with the using the DMT or the ashwagandha or the mushrooms or whatever. She has found that within the things that she knows herbally that people can help to use to cleanse their body. People, she says everybody has gallstones.
I don't believe that, Rachel. What else you got to say about Philly? Philly, let us know about Philly, man. What's really going on uh about the mob and all that back in the 80s and 70s? Why you had to run up out of Philadelphia and how they was offering for young black men to go to the military versus going to jail back in the days. Cause I think that's why you end up going, right? Because they offered that, and like instead of you going to jail, look, you can go to the military and you will be good. Is that kind of what happened? And then like what made you like stop, you know what I mean, going to like what made you like say start saying fuck the government and stuff in the way that you do right now today, just so the people can really have an overall understanding of who Philly is or what he all about. You know what I'm saying? If you're still there, Phil.
I got you.
So he gone too. So like about the show about to get ready to shut down, man. Nobody else want to come up. You know, if Rachel got anything else you want to say, you know what I mean?
Well,
If you
I was
spend
just
no mind.
yeah, I was just talking about her, and eventually, pretty soon, I'm gonna be having her with me on a live or whatever, and you know, anybody could ask questions, whatever, and you know, probably learn a little something else about things in this life. And per se, her perspective
What
on
Reggie, can I ask you a question?
things. Yes.
What do you think about the black loyalists versus the black patriots? Did you hear the stuff I was talking about before I dropped the link? I'm just asking.
A little bit.
What part? Did anything catch your attention that you want to speak on about it?
Well, I mean, like I said, I only heard a few words, but black loyalists and I mean, it's the system that we live under that has to really actually change, and until that happens, then what gives?
That's right. Now, when you say you think the system need to change, in what way do you think the system need to change, Rachel?
Well, for one, okay, we have this, so if you want to call it a party, the political what the hell, that is not meant for, I mean, when before I was really trying to extreme research on any given thing, level, whatever, um the what the hell is that? That's a bunch of people who say they represent whatever topic it is that they want to talk about, and people are supposed to react behind it, but it doesn't really help nothing. So, I mean, what the who?
Say the last part again. You said people are supposed to react to what again? You said
To people are supposed to be reacting to um, whatever topic it is that these people want to let circulate in their mouth and run out their mouth.
yeah. So you talk about like the media and stuff like that. They like put stuff on TVs and stuff like that to make people want to talk about it and have to talk about that. Is that what you're saying?
Yeah, man.
And you saying you think that need to change, right? That you're saying they need.
It needed to change yesterday.
Yep, I think they do manipulate the system and stuff like that. I think they do.
But we as a people, some of us are actually coming together, yes. But we as a people are I don't go to my neighbor's house and have a cup of tea, or do you need me to do something for you, or
Yes, ma'am. And we see Philly ready or not yet because you see you having a connection problem. You drop them off stuff. So I don't know. You ready or not, Philly? If you want to,
Yeah, I'm ready.
say that
I
stuff.
heard your question, my brother.
Yeah.
Yeah, basically for me it was go to jail or go in the military. So I took the path of the military, and I'm glad it did because it made my life a lot easier. I ended up serving 3 years and getting out. But what made me, I'm going to touch on what made me to the person I am today. What made me the way I am is basically, my first daughter died from a flu shot, say 8 years ago. And since that 8 years, that's what woke me up when I had to when I had to basically unexpectedly bury my healthy 3-year-old daughter from one of their vaccines. So basically, like, my daughter was never sick. We took her to get, a shot. And basically after 30 days, she was cool. She caught a little fever. And then we took her to the hospital for, dehydration. And 2 days later, she was gone. And then when I tried to approach the doctors about it, me and my wife, they basically tried to blame it on me and my wife genes. And basically the insurance that I had basically ran a test to test me and my wife genes. And basically our genes was fine. But what really made me to where I am today is because my 3-year-old daughter died from that shot, man, from one of them flu shots. And basically all they did was cover it up. And basically I started researching about the flu shot and how it was doing our people and how it was doing all people, not just our people. How our people were getting disabilities and dying from it. And the same thing with the other race, the other people. Their kids was becoming retarded and dying also. But my research showed the government was paying them, a lot of them, but they wasn't paying us. So that made me take the stand. Basically, when my daughter died, I lost faith. I lost all faith. I was Islamic. I wasn't Christian. I asked the Creator to take my life instead of my daughter's. And he didn't answer my fucking wishes. You know what I mean? So that's what brought me to who I am today and why I stand on what I do. Because that shot, the black church, all these religions, they're leading our people to the fucking slaughterhouse. And even though I served this country and this country is still paying me, I have more love for my people. So even though I served this country and was loyal to this country at one point, my loyalty ended. And I had to start exposing this system for what it is. And that's what make me the person I am today. You know what I mean? And why I stand on my point the way I do because of my life experiences. You know what I
Man,
mean?
they got to be real tough right there, though, man, about your baby, man. Like, I heard that story
It
before,
was,
bro.
my
And
brother,
every time I hear it,
she was never
it's just
sick.
like, man, I couldn't imagine, man.
She
I
was
couldn't
healthy.
imagine.
And then we took it to give, and then 30. Then they lie about it and try to blame it on. They basically tried to say my daughter had a rare brain disease called mitochondria, and you know how they do it. It's a disease that we get,
Right.
and basically they didn't want to take the responsibility of their shot, causing my daughter to die unexpectedly. And that's what really woke up the soldier in me again to fight for my people and tell my people how evil this fucking system is, how the CDC has been lying to us for years, and how this system basically destroys other countries but won't do nothing for the people that built this motherfucker, us. So that's why I go hard.
On both sides too. Yeah,
Yes,
that make a lot of sense. And I can't never. That's why I always say I respect your thought, man. I already know. Ain't no use to, you know what I'm saying? It's like, man, what can you say to a man? You know what I'm saying? For real, like, man, that shit.
And mainly, like I said, when I had to bury my daughter unexpectedly, my brother, and I had to step up, and I had to pump out close to that 10,000. It was a rude awakening for me, man. And like I said, I tried for 5 years to sue the government, and all they did was push it off, lie, push it off.
So you saying like still to this day, bro? Like they ain't. Oh man.
Well, no, yeah, I haven't still received nothing from them, and basically, you know, the statute of limitation, and they giving these doctors and these people all these shots, and basically the people are signing waivers and waiving their rights away, because that's what I did basically.
So that's what made you leave the military, or like you had already? Like,
well, basically, I was tired. I basically, make a long story short, I got hurt while I was in the military. I got struck by lightning while I was in the military. So when I got out, basically, I became service-connected disabled. They started paying me. The government started paying me right away. And then basically, I had got a job at the post office, which is a government job, and I worked there for almost 20 years before I went out on total disability. And I haven't worked a job in the last 25 years. I've been making excellent money.
It seems like it's paying off on that end for you, man. You know what I mean? I know, you know.
You know what I mean? But no matter, even though I'm
like stuff like that, no matter how happy you is in life, like it seems like to me, I don't know, it seems like that always
I'm for my people, man. No matter how much them pussies give me, I'm not selling my people down the river, because my eyes was opened up to the corruption. You feel me?
So hit that Leo for real, man. For real.
Yeah, thank you. Hold on. And I always show people this. You know, man, me and my wife got through that, man. We can get through anything. We've been together 16 years. But I want to show you this. This is her little memorial right here. Can you see it?
I can see it a little bit now.
Can you see that?
Yeah, I can see it now, man. Hold on, go a little bit so I can see her. Oh wow, man.
You know what I mean? So that's what makes me.
Boy.
Go hard.
That's kind of tough. That's I know kind of tough. I don't know this, boy.
You know what I mean? And this was well before this new shit came out. You know, I don't want to say no names. You know, everybody know what I'm talking about.
Exactly. You know I mean? So I already know you ain't born it. It's like, man, hey, man, I'm trying to tell you.
Yeah, man, my wife, we've been talking about it.
Don't believe shit they say, period, whatsoever. Don't believe nothing they say. You know what I'm saying?
Exactly.
That's for real. Like a bitch ass thing. I don't give a damn how good it sounds. Like no parts of it.
None. You know what I mean?
For real.
But that's basically what made me the person I am today, and why I stand on my stance, my brother. And thank you for allowing me and asking me, my brother.
For real, I just wanted to know, man. You know, I already know partially, you know. But I just kicking it with you, man. And I might see Sister Soul going live right now too. So I probably go over there with her. Go over there and kick it with her too. You know, I'm gonna do the same thing, Leo, because it's probably been about 2 hours. You know what I mean? And thank you for coming up too, Rachel. You know what I'm saying? You know. So like all we can do is take it one day at a time, Leo. Everybody got their own car they get there, bro. Just like goddamn, right? Like hit a road we all on, man, for real. You know, ain't
Cause
that
I
ain't.
wanted to
Yeah, go
say,
ahead.
we started out rocky, but I wanted to let you know it's no disrespect, my brother.
Oh no, it
You know
ain't
what I
never,
mean?
it ain't nothing but rocks and dirt outside, Leo. You know what
I
I mean?
already know what kind of person you are. You my kind of brother. You just like me. You know what I mean?
Straight up,
Asking
I'm
hard.
just ready they come, man. I try not to. I understand, man. Try to do what they do. You know what I mean? But I ain't a part of none of no game. You know what I mean?
Yeah,
You know,
same here, my
I
brother.
already know. You know what I mean? Real
And I
recognize
always
real
like to
everywhere in
tell people,
America. You know,
I love my people, man. I do anything for my people. You know what I
that's
mean?
right.
I don't want no war with nobody. I done did enough of that.
As you
But
should, if
thank
you
you for
can,
allowing me
man.
up
You're
here.
supposed to always do that. When you can, you should, bro. You know what I'm
Yes,
saying?
sir.
I ain't never trying to have no plex. You know how many times nigga done cuss me out and be mad and all kind of shit. You know what I mean? Like, boy, all that shit sound good. So you put your hand on me, I'm gonna go for what I know on your ass. Like my mama taught me.
Exactly.
You see what I'm saying?
Exactly. I know what you're
So
saying, my
everything is
brother.
just but bullshit. You know, but yeah, I'm gonna go on and focus so right quick though. Leo,
Yes,
you know what I
sir.
mean? I see you over there, bro. All right,
Yeah.
hey,
Everybody ask
for
me,
everybody that's
man.
out there, man, and Rachel, holla at you. You know, y'all already know what it is, what the whole bulk of the show is all about. You know what I mean? About Boulets versus, goddamn it, what they against each other. You know what I mean? Is the Boulets really the loyalists versus the goddamn it Patriots? And like we already saw the royalists, so y'all looking to them is gonna give y'all some game about that. You know what I mean? To look into that type of stuff, go back and look at it and go follow them links and all that type of stuff for the ones that's out here, like in the Aboriginal community and the African community, the Pan African community. If y'all don't know about this stuff already, I might need to start putting some of this stuff together, man. And so the New York folks, y'all Dutchmen, y'all Germans, when you look at the word African, it's gonna let you know it's a Dutchman. It's gonna let you know it's a German. All y'all came from over there in New York, and y'all hauled ass over there to Sierra Leone and Canada and all that old shit. You know what I mean? Y'all see how the shit running down. You know what I mean? It seemed like for the most part on the Patriot side, you had the five civilized tribes, the Confederacies, and all that. Had to try to run them as black. Whether you already know why the brother was down there fighting because it was their land. The nigga had the land down there. We had a white boy down there because we was buying them from y'all from the north because y'all was selling them to us. You know what I mean? We make so much money off y'all, and y'all got mad. You know what I mean? And tried to goddamn free them. Y'all put them down there to infiltrate to our shit. You know what I mean? All these bitch ass niggas to come down there. So we had to fly our slaves and shit that came from the north, came from Philadelphia, came from New York, screaming for all the customers, bro. Just try to run it down how I feel it. So it can be pure and authentic. So yeah, it came down from the north. Hey, y'all just heard how they said, you know what I mean, coming out there through Ohio, because y'all know Ohio was a free state. You know what I mean? So they coming down from
A
the
free
north.
state?
Yes, ma'am. A free state,
Okay.
Ohio was. Yes, ma'am. That's absolutely, indeed. Same thing as Georgia was for a long time. But y'all know what's going on. Y'all know the boy knows what's going on. Y'all acting like that we were trying to run up north to be free. No, y'all trying to run down south to be free. You know what I mean? That was really going on. That was time it really was. You know what I mean? Because the only people that looked like y'all was us down in the south. And so y'all dealing with the Spanish or whatever. The Spanish Indians, they're the ones kind of like they knew how to communicate with y'all. The Spaniards that was already down here, because all y'all from Europe, right? So the Spanish talking to the mixed with the indigenous, the old traders and all them there, and they was mixing with y'all, talking to y'all, mixing with y'all, communicating with y'all, helping y'all get down here. You know what I'm saying? So that was really what's going on. To make a long story short as I can, when you start really looking into it, see what's really going on, for sure.
And you
And
know
as
what
y'all
that
can
sound
see,
like?
go ahead. What it sound like?
That sound like business as usual.
Business as usual. That's what it's
And
always been about.
then
Business as usual. Go ahead.
I'm really trying to take those proper steps to make sure that the business as usual, that curve link changes and turns around and just is different.
That's right. I like what you said though. Business as usual. But everything is always business as usual, y'all. We're gonna pretty much end with that because don't y'all ever forget it. It's always business, never personal. Always remember that. You know what I'm saying? You leave your personal business private. You know what I'm saying? You know what I mean? And all your game face, you know what I mean? Your hustle, all that's public. You feel me? Put your best foot forward, man. Until next time, neck and neck. We'll get with y'all. Peace. Y'all go over there, holler at Sister Soul, see what she got going on. I'll holler one more time. Shout out to my boy, Big Dog Philly. Y'all already know how he rocking. And shout out to Rachel. You know what I mean? And everybody else just in the chat. Everybody. You know what I mean? Everybody. Everybody watching behind the scenes. Everybody. I fuck with all y'all. I'll holler at you in a straight up and down way. Peace.